It was going to be a tough day. Same pitcher and same ball club just a week ago down in Gainesville, Florida, beat a top 10 team in University of Florida, game 3 of the series. So I knew they'd be very competitive. Their record is in no way a reflection of the quality of team that they are. So I knew it'd be a tough game today. They proved me right. But our kids were up to the challenge. We had one inning there where kind of a strange inning, the strike 3 that kind of bounds away from Chase, and then obviously, the homer to tie it, and then kind of put him back in the game. We had some opportunities early in the game to, put some separation in the score. We had runners on base and didn't get, one big hit that might have changed the whole pace of the game. So they hung in there against us. The 2 kids that pitched, both O'Neill and Probst, they're the 2 that beat Florida last Sunday. So they're both quality arms. There was a lot of fastballs thrown up there that were firm. It was going to be a competitive game, and I thought that we came through in a matter of months. Jake delivered. Jake, fantastic week, really outstanding, and clutch player. We needed someone to deliver a big swing, and he did it with a 3-run homer. So hard to win 4 games in a row against one team. Competition usually doesn't make that very likely. It's a hard 4 straight. If we sat here and played Yahtzee together, the 3 of us, nobody would win 4 in a row. I promise you that. It's not the way it works. So I like the fact that we found a way to win. I like that we did it in a little bit of a kind of a come from behind, so to speak. Fashion, not behind in the score, but behind in the momentum, where we had the lead and then got tied. So it's a good week, a lot of baseball, and kids have been pushing real hard.
Take me through Jake's 3-run home run.
Oh, like most of his at-bats, he usually, very selective early in the count. I think he might have had 2 pitches. I think it was a 1-1 pitch he hit out, I can't remember, but he usually pretty smart. He usually gets a pitch. If he's going to swing early, it's a pitch that he's looking for. And if it's not what he's looking for, he takes it because he has supreme confidence in his 2-strike hitting. And it looked like it was out over the plate a little bit, and he got around it and elevated it. He blasted it.
Is this a hot streak for him, or is this kind of just what he, not that he's going to hit a home run every game, but is this just kind of what he is at this point?
No, I've told people, in my opinion, Jake was the most complete hitter in our conference last year in conference games. The Big 12 schedule, whatever the 24 regular season games and whatever we played in the tournament, if you look at those games across all the Big 12 schools, Jake led those games in hitting. And to me, that's where you really see what you're made of. It's what you do in those games. So I think he's been a very good hitter for quite some time. He was a very good hitter this summer in Cape Cod. So I think he's just a fine player. Played really nice catch and left. He's made a couple of nice catches back-to-back days. Just really worked hard, made himself into a ball player.
And then you got Huey back this weekend. I think he had a hit in every game that he played in. What did you kind of think of his weekend?
I thought it was a positive burst of energy for the team, especially with Rock being sick and Aiden being sick and Caden Brumbaugh being sick. We were virtually out of players. So glad he came back when he did.
So Rox was just an illness?
Yeah, we have a number of kids that are ill right now.
And then 5 games in 5 days is a lot of baseball, like you said. You were able to go 5-0 in that. I mean, what does that say about the team?
I think it. I don't remember a 5-game stretch where one college team pitched as well as we just did. That was a great 5-day spread of pitching, both starting pitching and relief pitching. That was tremendous. The defense, for the most part, you'd have to look over the box scores over those 5 games. I don't know how many errors were committed, but it was pretty clean baseball. So I think when you pitch that good, you play defense well, then offensively you just need to be, what would you say, more fundamentally sound versus having to score 10 runs. And so a day like today where we were fundamentally sound is enough. A couple of the other days we did score some runs, right? But I just think it's an outstanding job by Coach Walton and the pitching staff to put together 5 well-pitched games, and the defense was good. And we made some strides offensively.
What are your thoughts on Kel's first start since
Did a good job. Did a good job. Yep. Kept his pitch count under control. That way he's not burned up, and get him back for the weekend against Kansas. And it's a good experience for him. And Kale's a weapon. Kale's certainly capable of starting games. to win, you got to have good starters, you got to have good middle relievers, you got to have good closers, you got to have guys that can pitch in all phases of the game. And Kale's been super valuable in that regard. It was great to see him start today. Ryan Muir was impressive too.
And then you talked about, I think at the beginning of this week or beginning of the stretch at least, how you haven't played a normal stretch of baseball yet. Heading into this Kansas series, I mean, how does it finally feel to get into, I guess, a normal stretch of baseball?
Yeah, I think, what is this? It looks like we've played 20 games. It's a 20-game pre-conference challenge that we put together for this team to see what we were made of. We didn't take any shortcuts, and we didn't schedule anybody that wasn't up to task to give us a tough game every time out. So we've got good information about what we're good at. We've got information about where we need to improve. And now we've got a great stretch of consistency in front of us that we'll be able to settle into a routine on.
Those first few weeks had a couple of ups and downs. With being on a 7-game win streak now, what can confidence do for this team heading into Big 12 play?
Yeah, I was thinking about that last night. There really haven't been any downs except for the Gonzaga series. That was it. I mean, we played an elite pitching staff, and we had chances to win all 3 games, and we didn't win any of them. That's the down. Other than that, there was no down. We go on the road and beat Vanderbilt 2 out of 3. We go to Arizona State, beat them 2. We beat Wright State the 2 games we play them. We beat BYU the series we play them. I mean, the Gonzaga series was a series where we couldn't get over the hump. That was it. 3 games in a row. It's tough to swallow. Other than that, though, I think the kid's done a nice job. You just look at it week to week, so to speak. But that one particular series, their pitching staff, they exposed some weaknesses that we had to clean up. And, we've done this without Griffin. Griff's a huge part of our offensive, kind of the offense that we built. And we do it without Benj, who was a huge part of this recipe for success prior to the season. And we did it without Huey for a good amount of that time. So I give the kids credit. They've found ways to pick each other up and fill in. And other than that one weekend against Gonzaga, where we really struggled to put any runs on the board, we've been pretty darn competitive.
Is Griffin getting closer, do you think?
I don't really know. It's kind of one of those things where the doctors ultimately they'll decide when it's smart and safe.
And obviously the Big 12 play starting next weekend. I'm working on some to preview Big 12 play. Could you kind of give me your thoughts on the conference so far? Preview Big 12 play?
Preview Big 12 play. Well, I haven't watched it super close, but it appears as if Texas has played well. They, much like us, have played a very ambitious schedule, and they appear to be very good, like everyone thought. Texas Tech looks like they've run out and strung together numerous wins already. They've been doing that now for 10 years. TCU, much the same. So those 3 teams, I think, are right on schedule with kind of maybe where the preseason predictions were. They all appear to be off to good starts, playing good teams, establishing really good clubs. It looks like OU's played a tough schedule and survived some of the road series and tough series that they took on. I think West Virginia's playing well from what I can gather, just following scores. Baylor, Kansas State, and I think it's all been kind of hanging in there, it looks like, record-wise, a couple games over 500, early on. There won't be one game we play in the 24-game conferences series that'll be an easy game. Everybody's up to point, prepared, good starting pitching across the conference for sure, and everybody's going after each other. Everybody wants it. It's a competitive league. Just like you see you follow the basketball matchups in Big 12 basketball, how no matter what the standings are, someone can beat somebody in any given night, right? Especially on the road. Baseball is much the same.